Before diving into this content, do the following: like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Because what you're about to discover isn't in business textbooks or luxury magazines. Today we're going to reveal a symbol that most people see every day, but very few manage to decipher. A symbol that isn't stamped on logos, but hidden in the behavior of those who truly master the game. Have you ever noticed that billionaires don't look rich? They dress simply, speak little, and yet everyone senses when they enter a room. It's almost mystical, a silent power that needs no explanation. While some seek attention, they seek meaning. While some flaunt wealth, they codify it. There's a psychological and historical reason behind this pattern, and it's more powerful than it seems. The invisible symbol of power. The most curious thing is that, without realizing it, you are also creating your own symbol every day, through the way you speak, behave, and decide what you deserve. But what differentiates the symbol of a billionaire from that of an ordinary person? What do they know and apply that most people ignore? Get ready, because by understanding this code, you will never look at the concepts of wealth, success, and presence in the same way again. The invisible symbol of power. There is a type of power that doesn't need to shout to be perceived. It whispers, and yet everyone hears it. Billionaires understood long ago that the true symbol of power lies not in ostentation, but in subtlety. It's the watch without a logo, the car without an emblem, the tailored suit that no one recognizes, but everyone respects. That is invisible power. The kind that doesn't seek to prove anything and it's the kind of presence that makes a room fall silent, even when its owner doesn't say a single word. While many try to appear wealthy through flashy logos, true billionaires prefer symbolic anonymity, because they've already understood that those who need to show off haven't arrived yet. The symbol of power lies in self-mastery, in controlling emotions, in remaining calm in the face of chaos. It's the gaze that observes, not the one that begs for attention. And this symbol, paradoxically, is the most valuable of all, because the more discreet it is, the stronger it becomes. But there's something even more intriguing. This symbol wasn't born from fashion. It was born from the mind. It's the result of a psychological code shared among a select few. An almost tribal instinct for mutual recognition. It's not about how much money someone has, but how they behave in relation to it. This is where we begin to understand that real power isn't what you display, but what you carry within. And this is where the big question arises. Where does this silent mentality come from that separates the powerful from those who only appear to be? The psychological origin of the symbol. Every symbol is born from a deep human need, and the symbol of billionaires is no different. Since the caves, humankind has always sought signs to differentiate itself from others. A painting on the skin, a rare stone, distinctive clothing. Today this instinct has evolved, but the essence remains the same. The search for belonging and hierarchy. The symbol of power, for billionaires, is not a mere adornment. It is an expression of identity and control over one's own destiny. It is the reflection of an ego that has learned not to compete, but simply to exist on a different level. This mindset stems from inner security, something money can amplify but never buy. The billionaire doesn't display the symbol to be noticed. He wears it like a second skin. It's a silent reminder that true nobility lies not in visible luxury, but in the serenity that accompanies it. Psychologically, it's a self-referential behavior. The greater the emotional self-sufficiency, the less the need for external validation. It's the triumph of to be about opinion. But what's most fascinating is realizing how this pattern repeats itself in all spheres of power, from royalty to modern corporations. Kings wore crowns, but today the throne is disguised in a minimalist office and a pair of unbranded loafers. The symbol has changed form, but not function. It remains the beacon that separates those who lead from those who follow. And it is at this point that the brands that have deciphered this code and transformed it into empires come in. Brands that understood the code. Some brands don't sell products. They sell belonging. Hermès, for example, never needed extravagant campaigns to transform a simple bag into a symbol of power. The Birkin isn't an accessory. It's a social password. Patek Philippe doesn't just sell watches, but the idea of heritage. You never really own it, you just take care of it for the next generation. Rolls-Royce, in turn, isn't in a hurry to manufacture cars because its customers aren't in a hurry to buy them. These houses understood the code. The more exclusive, the more desirable, the more inaccessible, the more valuable. These brands speak the silent language of billionaires. Their products are like portals to a world where time is the true luxury, and status is not announced, it is perceived. Every detail, from the hand-dyed leather to the silence of the engine, communicates something invisible. This was made for a select few, and it is precisely this subtlety that enchants, because the secret of desire lies not in excess, but in mystery. The billionaire recognizes the billionaire not by ostentation, but by restrained elegance. And when we understand this, we begin to see luxury in a different light. It ceases to be about price and becomes about meaning. Behind every minimalist logo lies a universe of values, tradition, and symbolic power. Brands didn't create the behavior of the wealthy. They merely translated it. But there's something even deeper. The symbol goes beyond consumption. It is, in fact, a form of language among those who dominate the game. A coded conversation that few know how to decipher. Symbols as a secret language among the rich. In the world of billionaires, there's a form of communication that dispenses with words. It's the look that recognizes the precise cut of a suit jacket, the muffled sound of a luxury car door, the restrained gesture of toasting with a rare wine. Every detail carries a code. This is the language of power, silent, precise, and inaccessible to those still seeking validation. While most try to be noticed, the powerful master, the art of disappearing, because they know that true prestige lies in being understood only by those within the same circle. This subtle communication is what sets us apart. Noisy luxury to silent luxury. The first attempts to prove something. The second simply exists. It's like comparing a polished diamond to a rough stone. Both have value, but only one reflects light with balance. The billionaire's symbol is, therefore, a visual language that conveys history, security, and dominance. A gold Rolex may impress, but a discreet Patek, without a single jewel, reveals that the wearer doesn't need to convince anyone of who they are. And this language isn't limited to objects. It manifests itself in decisions, in the words chosen, and even in the pauses during a conversation. It's the serenity that comes from someone who has already triumphed internally before triumphing externally. The symbol, at this level, transforms into a spiritual signature, a personal mark that doesn't depend on luxury, but on awareness. And this is where an inevitable question arises. Would we, ordinary people, be able to recognize a billionaire on the street without any of these external signs? Would you recognize a billionaire on the street? Imagine passing someone on the sidewalk wearing a simple sweatshirt, ordinary sneakers, and a relaxed smile. You would never imagine that this man owns a fortune greater than the GDP of a small country. That's the irony of true power. It disguises itself as normality. While many still associate wealth with ostentation, modern billionaires have learned to blend in. Mark Zuckerberg in his gray t-shirt, Warren Buffett with his burger and soda, they all communicate the same symbol. Freedom. Freedom from having to prove anything. Recognizing a billionaire, therefore, requires looking beyond the obvious. It's not about what they wear, but about as he wears it. It's his posture, his calmness in the face of others' haste, his way of listening more than speaking. The billionaire rarely competes. He observes. He knows that self-control is the greatest luxury. There's an aura of lightness, as if time bends to accompany him, and not the other way around. This behavior reveals the most subtle symbol of all: mastery over one's own rhythm. But there's something the public rarely realizes. The billionaire's symbol isn't just visible. It is built. It stems from conscious choices, habits, and principles, applied every day. A billionaire may seem ordinary, but they carry with them a set of mental rituals and attitudes that radically differentiate them. And it is at this point that the great turning point arises. If every symbol is created, could anyone build their own symbol of authority and abundance? The power to create your own symbol. The real secret of billionaires lies not in money, but in the personal symbolism they build over time. Each one creates an invisible brand, a set of gestures, routines, and choices that communicate who they are, even without saying a word. Steve Jobs had his black turtleneck. Elon Musk, his constantly challenging gaze. Oprah Winfrey, her warm and firm presence. The symbol is, ultimately, a reflection of a well-defined identity. And the fascinating thing is that we can all build our own, regardless of our bank account. Creating a personal symbol is about deciding what you want to represent when you're not speaking. It's about letting your behavior speak before your words. Want to convey confidence? Pay attention to your posture, your consistency, the way you look people in the eye. Want to express abundance? Start with how you treat time, yours and others. The symbol doesn't have to be material. It can be a habit, a philosophy, a way of being in the world. It's what sets you apart without you having to raise your voice. And that's where the transformative power lies. When you understand that you can be the architect of your own symbolic image, the game changes completely. You stop seeking approval and start emanating natural authority. That's the essence of great leaders. Those who don't expect recognition, but attract it. Ultimately, the billionaire symbol isn't a privilege of the wealthy, but of those with awareness. And now, perhaps the big question is, what symbol are you constructing to represent what it truly is? The billionaire symbol you never noticed. Now that you understand the power of the invisible symbol, the question is, what symbol do you want to represent in the world? The one of excess or the one of mastery? The one of noise or the one of silent dominion? The billionaire symbol begins within, and when you change the way you think, everything around you changes too. But remember, knowledge without action is like a hidden diamond. It has value, but it doesn't shine. So apply this today. Observe your habits, your posture, the way you speak and position yourself. Start acting like someone who already has what they want, because that's how the symbol becomes real. And if you want to take the next step toward a billionaire mindset, purchase the ebook, The Principles for Getting Rich. In this book, I reveal the mental and behavioral foundations that build wealth from the inside out. These are simple yet powerful techniques for transforming thought into prosperity. And before you leave, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Here we talk about mindset, wealth, and the secret codes that shape success. Because true power isn't about looking rich, but about to think and act like someone who already is. And this is just the beginning of your journey to becoming a living symbol of abundance.